Can I interest you in a sketchbook tour in these trying times? All right, so first of all, I know I promised a tour of this specific sketchbook early on this year. I'm very sorry. I'm like, we're 5 months into 2026 and I'm just now filming this. I've been very busy over the past like bunch of months, both with like my own projects and just general life stuff. And also like I've been sad the entire month of April, so I'm just now getting around to filming it. But yeah, hopefully this is a good time. I had a lot of fun working in this sketchbook. This is asterisk probably my favorite so far. I say it's my favorite so far after like basically every single time I finish a sketchbook, so that's probably a good sign. But yeah, this was fun to work in. First of all, this is the ELO sketchbook. It's recommended by a lot of artists. Apparently this is like the go-to sketchbook for a lot of artists. I really like these sketchbooks. I usually use the Canson mixed media sketchbooks because I have a lot of different supplies that I like to use, and they're generally good at like not bleeding through. That paper is, at least. But yeah, this one was still fun. I also like these sketchbooks. These are ones that I use every once in a while. So, first off, quick little sticker showcase. This one, and then these little Starbit candy stickers right here were made by Milky Tomato, of course. They're a go-to of mine. These two olive guys were from Bit City Smosh sticker set. This one right here was by the artist Myrixia on Etsy, I believe it's pronounced. This moon one right here was, hold on, I gotta check, 1 second. It was made by Water Sprite Art on Etsy. That's who made that. And let me see, what else? Oh, this little jack-o'-lantern guy right here was from a sticker sheet that came with Dana Terrace's art book, Skin and Bones. And then this one right here was made by Molly Harrington. This one I got from another sticker sheet. This one here was from a grab pack from when a friend hosted a Wicked watch party at the beginning of 2025. And then the rest of the little ones right here are from like various craft stores like Michael's, Joann's, things like that. And yeah, I really like this sketchbook. I had fun working in it. And here we go. All right, very first page. Usually I like to do these like big grand spreads on the very first page of a sketchbook. I wasn't really feeling it this time though, so instead I just used this page as kind of like a swatch test for all my different markers and pens and highlighters and stuff, just to see how it would look. And then, I'm sorry, you got it. I was hoping to have him in frame the entire video, but the sketchbook is too big. But yeah, after this one, we have my official starting spread. Part of the reason I liked working in this sketchbook so much is because I got really experimental, especially with like scrapbooking. You'll see more stuff like this as the sketchbook goes on, but I was experimenting with like adding more things like washi tape or scrapbook paper or drawings from different sketchbooks and things like that. Like these ones right here were drawn, I want to say it was like either a watercolor sketchbook that I haven't used or like a mixed media sketchbook that I haven't used. So that's where these came from. You probably can't tell because of the lighting, but the colored hair, I added some like sparkly highlighter marker type deals to make her hair look shiny. Shinify my Sona's hair a tiny bit. And then pretty standard figure drawing spread here from Line of Action, I want to say this is from? Yeah, this is from Line of Action. Very common practice for me. This is from, I think I made this when I decided that I wanted to start streaming and I kind of wanted to give myself some ideas for emotes, so I decided to like make a bunch of little axolotl expressions, because axolotls are my favorite animal. If I start streaming, that's what I'll probably do. Have an axolotl as a little like emoji set kind of thing. And then I put stars by my favorite ones. And then this page right here was kind of expanding on some of my favorite ones. Here we got some pit bull studies. I believe these were all taken straight off Google. And then this one is another Ashley Odell study of another like dog shape. I wanted to expand on my creature design a tiny bit more and learn how to draw dogs because the Williams family has a pit bull, and I decided that she is just a big stupid ball of love, and there is nothing behind that head. There is nothing going on in there. She just kind of walks over and stares at you until you pet her, at least until her humans are in danger, in which case she will bare her teeth and growl at you if she senses Maya or any of her family or friends or anything like that is in danger. I kind of want to feature like animals in an episode of Morewood Hollow eventually, because I feel like it's kind of thought that animals are more sensitive to paranormal activity than humans are, so that's probably something I want to explore. Oh, and this page I drew as I was watching Salad Fingers, of all things, again, for the first time in years. I didn't even know they were still making new episodes, but I want to say like sometime late 2025, they released a new episode, and I was like, oh cool, a new Salad Fingers episode. And then I sat down to watch it, and I was like, oh right, this is Salad Fingers. Here's the thing, I love horror, I love weird shit. I don't much care for gore. Gore isn't really for me. I can appreciate gore if it's done like in an artistic sense, like if it's animated like they have in shows like Knights of Guinevere or something like that, or if they don't look super realistic like with classic 80s, 90s horror movies, that kind of thing, when they were still experimenting with practical effects. But something about the way they animate gore in Salad Fingers, how it looks cartoony but still realistic, and sometimes I can't even tell what the organs are. It's just like, gross. But yeah, it was nice revisiting Salad Fingers again and relearning why that show terrified me so much when I was in middle school. And then this was a blue scale illustration that I tried to make. I don't think it worked out that well, but an attempt was made. An attempt was certainly made. These were when I was expanding upon the characters a little bit. When I decided I wanted to fully commit to making the pilot, I decided to dedicate more time to making concept art for these kids and kind of figuring out what their character acting would entail. So I drew a bunch of expressions for them, and I drew them in poses and things like that I thought that they would make. And these highlighters are more or less what I imagine their color schemes are. I really like how these spreads came out. I think it was a lot of fun working on these. I'm really enjoying both the writing process and making viz dev art for the pilot so far. You're gonna see a lot of art related to these kids throughout this sketchbook tour, so look forward to that. Oh nice, we got a monster. Okay, first monster, well, not the first monster, but first monster type non-humanoid thing, because Salad Fingers is kind of humanoid, but this thing. So I think I was bitten by the Lovecraftian bug when I was watching Smosh's show We're All Gonna Die, and there's some cosmic horror elements in there, and I was like, you know what? Cosmic horror actually relates to the kind of stuff that I like to draw, like messed up teeth and lots of eyes and mouths and things like that. So I decided to do, I believe this was like a Pathfinder figurine or something of a Shoggoth, to just kind of familiarize myself with drawing them a little bit, because I wanna learn how to draw more horror things. And then we got just a Sharpie portrait of Autumn here, just very sleepy guy. Nothing special about this page. These were just stickers from somewhere. I don't remember where I bought them just yet. It'll probably come to me later. And then this was drawn, I believe, around the time that my town was hosting a Pride event, and I got a bunch of stickers and business cards and stuff from it, and it made me want to draw Robin and Maya, because they're a queer couple. And then this woman right here, I think I saw her in a coffee shop or something. I just figured, well, I haven't really drawn people from life in a while. Might as well try just doing a quick sketch of somebody. She had really cool leg tattoos. I wish I could have captured her tattoos instead of just drawing them like scribbles. I'm very jealous of the people who can draw tattoos. It's very much a skill issue for me, I'm sure, but I'm not that good at copying tattoos verbatim. Got more Hello Kitty stickers here. Oh, these were from, where are they from? Where did I get these stickers? Miniso, they're from Miniso, that's where I got them. I got a couple of different sticker packs of just giant Sanrio and Hello Kitty characters, and I didn't really know what to do with them, so I just said screw it, and I put them in my sketchbook. Very cute stickers here. And then over on the next page we got, so these I drew a little bit after I watched the Boiled One phenomenon on YouTube. I've seen this guy on TikTok before, but I didn't know what he was for. So I finally watched the short film that he stars in, and I really liked it. I really like analog horror. And then, because apparently, if I remember right, this happened in Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania. And coincidentally, Morewood Hollow takes place in Pennsylvania. And Sylvia has lived here the longest out of all of the main characters. So if anyone were to see it, it would probably be her. So I just scribbled her, and right here I scribbled her reaction to it, because it's advised in the video to not watch it if you don't have blue light glasses. She either has blue light glasses, or she's just too powerful of a medium for it to affect her. And I thought either way it was very funny. She'd just be like, what the hell is this? What am I watching? And then we got a scribble of me down here, because I don't have blue light glasses, so I was not protected when I watched that video, because I'm an artist and I have to see color. I need to see every bit of colorful light that I can. So yeah, I wear glasses, but I canonically do not have blue light glasses. They're just lenses that help me see. And then I remember a couple of these sketches I wasn't super happy with, and it made me want to kind of practice drawing the faces of generally older women. So that's what I did here. I did some studies off of Google. I really like how this woman turned out. This one might be my favorite among them. And then I realized I'm actually kind of rusty at like drawing realistic heads. I can draw realistic bodies just fine, but I struggle with heads. So I did some studies off of first off of Google Images, I did this study right here of a skull, and then I decided to practice drawing the Loomis method, which is a method that you use to draw like portraits and stuff like that. And I was watching David Finch specifically, so I was kind of like practicing and taking notes as he was working with his video. And then several messy gesture sketches because I was sick to death of drawing heads, so I just decided to go back to what I like doing, and that is bodies for me. Well, speaking of bodies, I think this spread was drawn when I decided to give Maya like a slightly larger body type. I wanted to do this mainly because for the longest time, all of the Morewood Hollow characters were like pretty thin, at least all the main ones were. And I just wanted a little more variety in body types, so I decided to play with just making Maya like a little bit fluffier. She'll still be the smallest of the crew, don't worry, that trait will not be gone, but she'll have a slightly larger body. And this little duo right here I made to kind of compare someone like Maya with a larger body type to Andy to someone with like a thinner body type, so I kind of drew them side by side. I also drew them side by side because they are a very special duo to me. I love their friendship so much. It'll probably take some getting used to drawing Maya like this, but I'm getting there. And of course, because I drew the girlies on the other side, I had to draw the guys. These two have a pretty good friendship. I feel like because Carlos was an only child and Ben grew up with a sister, they see each other as like the brother that they never had, which I really like. And then here we got some thumbnails of Ben because I wanted practice drawing this jacket specifically because I kind of struggle with drawing it. Specifically like placing the pocket. I think this became like one of my favorite outfits to draw Ben in recently. It's not an E=MC² shirt anymore, it's more related to like a cryptid something or like alien something. I'm still deciding what I want to do, but yeah, I really like this outfit for Ben. I think this like page in general came out really well. I really like this page. And here we got just a couple of scribbles. Just a drawing of Autumn watching something on her tablet. What you watching? What you watching, girl? And then this absolute entity watching alongside her. Inside of me there are two wolves, and the two wolves are this. And then some scribbles of Naomi and Robin. I feel like whatever art I make with these two specifically will be a bit moot after the pilot officially airs because they don't really appear until season 2. So they'll probably take a backseat to some of my public art, but like by no means does that mean I'm gonna stop drawing them. If anything, I think that'll incentivize me to draw them more. Oh, and these were the initial thumbnails I made because I had an idea for a We're All Gonna Die animation. I started it around like October, I think, right before the Halloween special. And I got pretty far. I made it up to the cleanup stage, but then I got hit with some life stuff like in the middle of the wine art stage, and I got depressed. It made me not want to work on it, so I had to shelf that temporarily. But hopefully I want to finish it one day. Maybe like one day I'll finish it, or like for the anniversary or something, or if they do like a season 2, I'll make something like that. I've been missing making fan stuff recently. I want to get back into it. And again, because this is a cosmic horror story, I realized I don't know how to draw like Lovecraftian monsters. So I wanted to do some more like drawings and studies, just kind of practicing drawing the shapes and everything. So I wanted to do some studies from like images that I found online and kind of figure out how to make all the shapes and everything. And the way I figured out how to do that was I made like a bunch of marker scribbles of the shapes I was seeing first, and then I drew over it with pen with whatever I could find. So I think this was another Pathfinder study. These two were from some kind of official art. I want to say they were like D&D drawings or something like that, some kind of D&D type thing. And this is actually from an individual artist. I believe their name is pronounced Halicon 450? Halicon 450? That one looks really cool. I really like how this study turned out. Here we got an Andy spread. Andy is a pretty interesting character for me because so much of her character is like a paradox, essentially. Like, she's a goth, she's a skeptic, she's a very logical person, but she's also terrified of ghosts and every aspect of the paranormal because it's just like difficult for her to grasp and understand. So her entire arc throughout the story is her becoming more comfortable with not only herself, but with all the weird shit that goes down in her life and in her friend's life. And that leads to this sketch right here where she's confronting some sort of entity that she meets in her dreams. because she has dream-related abilities. This will be more or less the conclusion of her arc, but yeah, that's something I'm excited to explore with her. Oh wow, we're already at the halfway spread, okay. So this is when I decided to try out scrapbooking a lot more. This is when I got a little more experimental. Here's another appearance of this scrapbook paper. I got a bunch of scrapbook paper from my mom that she just never used, and she was like, hey, do you want this? And I was like, yeah. And I also started taping a bunch of like tags from things that I got from stores and gluing drawings from other sketchbooks and stuff. I like these two right here. Me when I'm halfway done with my sketchbook. Me when I'm already halfway touring through this sketchbook. It feels like it's going by fast. I like how this sketchbook looks. I like talking about it. We got some more figure drawing here, definitely from Line of Action. I can definitely recommend Line of Action if you guys are looking for a good resource to practice figure drawing. It kind of sucks that I have to like censor so much of this stuff though, because I love how a lot of these look, but YouTube does not. Oh, okay, this is when I was going through the thick of it. All right, that's nice. That's fun. But hey, look at these ones right here. So this is when I started bringing my sketchbook to work and kind of leaving it open and inviting my coworkers to draw in it. And my friend and former coworker Parker drew these guys right here. Thank you, Parker, if you're watching this. He drew this pretty girl right here, and then he drew this person with a dog mask. Very cool. I want to invite more people to draw in my sketchbooks. That's a lot of fun for me. Ooh, we got some Halloween costumes. Okay, so I want my show, Morewood Hollow, to be kind of like The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and that they have multiple Halloween specials, like one throughout a couple of different seasons, because Halloween is my favorite holiday, and it's my show, and I can do whatever I want. So I made some concept art of some possible ideas for Halloween costumes. So we got Maya here dressed as Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. I tried to draw Andy as like a Victorian era vampire, but I'm not sure if this is well executed. The dress looks pretty though. I like how that looks. Then we got Carlos in a skeleton onesie. That's the costume that I like envisioned for him for the longest time. And then we got Ben in a Ghostbusters type outfit. Sidebar, the Morewood Hollow equivalent to Ghostbusters is Spirit Smashers. That's the copyright-free version that I'm going for. And then more costumes with Robin and Naomi this time. So first off, we got Maya dressed as Coraline, and she made a little doll of herself. Look at that. And then we got Robin dressed as Cowgirl Barbie, because she's so Cowgirl Barbie-coded to me. She would absolutely wear her skates, no matter what costume she's wearing. And then we got Mimikyu Naomi, because she's so very Mimikyu-coded to me, and it truly breaks my heart knowing that Nintendo will never allow me to use that costume in the actual show. And then we got Carlos as a zombified baseball player for the Morewood Hollow Haunters. When I say this baseball bat that I gave him changed everything, I mean it changed everything. It even, like, this is the main costume that I, like, imagined for him. If we do a Halloween special, this is definitely what I want the costume to be. Then we got little Witch Andy, which is not that much different from her regular attire, if I'm being honest. And then Ben dressed up as Freddy Krueger. I feel like Ben probably wouldn't actually dress as Freddy Krueger because that hits a little too close to home with Andy's ability living out a ghost's death through her dreams, but yeah, this was fun to draw him in. So I drew all of this, I think on like actual Halloween Eve, October 31st. And then on November 1st, the very next day, this is the first thing I drew. So here's the thing, all of these kids are definitely the kinds of people to celebrate Halloween like very early. I'm talking like maybe mid-August at the very like latest is when they start celebrating. But Naomi is also like the kind of person to start celebrating Christmas on November 1st. So I feel like she'd immediately bust out the tinsel and the ornaments and go Christmas tree hunting. And then it made me want to do a little interaction with her and Andy, because I feel like this is more or less what their dynamic is. Then we got some post-studies with Carlos and his baseball bat. I really like how these two like smaller ones turned out. This one where he looks like really determined and he's just like standing at attention, baseball bat at the ready. I really like how this one turned out. This one where he's in motion, I also really like. I really like drawing things in motion, especially if I can draw it as like a kind of smear effect. This one turned out really well, and so did this one. I really love both of those so much. This one's fine. This one's, it's a little stiff looking, but yeah, the other two I like. Some Naomi doodles. I really like drawing her hair like kind of blowing in the wind because her hair is very long. I mentioned this in a previous sketchbook tour, but Naomi's hair is one of the few constants that she really has in her life. So I've been having fun kind of like playing around with it, seeing what I can do with it. And then we got some more Morwood Hollow Pokemon studies as continued from some of my other sketchbook tours. I've been meaning to make full illustrations of their teams for like a hot minute. I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. I want to draw those so badly. But yeah, I also made these because I wanted to kind of see what their outfits would look like. Maya has a couple of different designs. I couldn't decide on one, you'll see that in a minute. You can probably tell that this one was based off of the main character's ZA outfits for Carlos. And then we got like a casual goth fit for Andy, which I love. I really love how this looks. But yeah, along with our outfits, we've got the Pokemon that would probably be on their team. Carlos has an Amp Form Toxicity and a Psyduck. Andy has Zorua and Morpeko. And then next page, we got even more outfit explorations right here along with their teams. Ben here would have a Mothim and a Gengar. Naomi would have a Furret and a Mimikyu, of course. Robin is very Espeon coded. She would definitely have an Espeon, and she would also have a Butterfree. And then Maya would have a Jigglypuff and a Deden. And this is more or less the outfit that I decided for her. It's another one of the outfits you can find on ZA. I thought she'd look so cute with that. Very cute. Oh, and this is when I started designing Naomi and Robin's families. This is her mom Haruka and her dad Satoshi. I mentioned a couple of times here and there that her parents are very like well off and well respected in the community. They're very high status, if that can really be used as a term. I figured that along with her mom being a lawyer and her dad being a doctor, that they're also probably town council members, so they're even more involved in the community that way. And then up here we've got my first draft of Mari, short for Mariko, her older sister. Then we got some notes right here. I'm gonna have to censor a couple of these because they're spoilers, but yeah, these are Naomi's parents. And then over here we got more explorations of her older sister. I feel like Mari won't be present in the actual show for reasons that I'm not gonna get into just yet. And then I started drawing Robin's family. I warmed up with some doodles of her right here, and these were kind of my attempt at finding a hairstyle that worked for her dad. And this is what I landed on. This is Daniel Santos. He's some kind of teacher at the kids' high school. I don't think I have to censor any of this. There's not too many spoilers around here. I think it's fine. But yeah, Robin's dad is some kind of teacher. I'm debating whether I want him to be like an English teacher or some kind of science teacher. But he eventually becomes an ally and a friend to the cast. Because he's a single dad living with his 2 kids, he definitely has a soft spot for quote-unquote weird kids, and he's extra protective of those kids. He's very much a quote-unquote cool teacher. I feel like his students like him a lot, but he is also a very serious person when it comes to his work, and he wants to see his students succeed. Those were my favorite kind of teachers growing up. And here we got some exploration for her younger sister, Beatrice, or B for short. She and Robin absolutely adore each other, and B is just like a little ball of sunshine. Nothing makes her happier than hearing like the letter B or like B related sounds. And kids are fashion icons, so I have the idea that she wears her tutu everywhere she goes. This spread I made after I finished officially designing everybody's families, because that was a big hurdle for me. I decided to do some figure drawing as a little treat. I found a new figure drawing site called Sketch Daily. I believe it was started on Reddit or something. I'm just judging from the r/ right here. But they have a lot of different like models and poses and different kind of clothes and stuff that I've been having a lot of fun drawing. This is another really good resource that I just recently found. So yeah, I can recommend that if you're looking for something. And then a bunch of hand and foot drawings from Line of Action, mostly feet drawings. I think, all right. Okay, so there's no like, I feel like there's no conceivable way for me to say that feet are actually fun to draw without me getting put on some kind of list. But I think I figured out why I like doing studies of those so much. I think like finger and toe poses can be pretty expressive, and I draw so many hands compared to drawing feet that I think like it's just kind of new-ish territory for me, and it allows me to try something new every so often. So yeah, I guess that's why. And my I believe these outfits were like just some cute things that I found on Pinterest. I've been wanting to redesign their outfits for the longest time, and I had the idea to give Maya like a really long skirt. I'm keeping this skirt for her outfit, and I gave this cardigan to her mom, but I think she looks so pretty. I think she looks so cute in this outfit. It's adorable. I love it. And then we got some Roya shenanigans over here, because I love when the plus size character gets crushed on and blushed over. More of that, please. Oh god. Okay, so this guy, I don't know what his story is. My mom and I were cleaning up the sunroom one day, and we came across this drawing. I want to say like one of my old college friends made it for me, and I took it home with me and put it in the sunroom somewhere and promptly forgot about it, unfortunately, for a very long time. But I love this guy, and I love his little saying, "Pick your head up, boy, your cowboy hat's falling off." I love that. So I'm keeping it in my sketchbook forever. Oh, we got a bunch of little autumn expressions here. Ditto looking ass. I think I just drew these just to have an excuse to draw something. I really like how these look. I know they're just meant to be scribbles, but I mean, I like how they turned out. I honestly really like that page. Oh, we got a little birthday spread. So these were thumbnails for like pose ideas and compositions for my Meet the Artist drawing that I made on my birthday. And then all the rest of this stuff was just scrapbooked from things that I got from the mall on my birthday. I thought the packaging was too cute to throw away, so I might as well like keep it with me. And we got some little like trading card looking sticker type things of Sanrio and Littlest Pet Shop, both things that I like. And I found these really cute like Sanrio character sticky notes. I will not be able to write on, definitely not these characters at all, but I don't mind using like these ones since they don't have characters on them and they're not super precious to me. But I will be keeping these and using them as like stickers. And this Kuromi right here made me want to draw Andy, so I decided to draw her in some cute little like goth outfit studies. I feel like Andy would also really like Kuromi, like unironically, but be very secretive about it. She would not be super open about it. She'd just be like, I like her a lot. And she'd be holding like a plushie of her. Sanrio would be like her little guilty pleasure and Kuromi would be her favorite. Okay. So among those like trading card stickers, I got this one and I looked at it and I was immediately reminded of that old like Kim Possible song, Naked Mole Rap. I really hope at least a few of you remember that. If any of you do, feel free to join me in the retirement home, and the rest of you, you got some Googling to do. So it made me want to draw some Rufuses, this funny little guy. I loved him when I was a kid. Oh, and these flashcards right here were made during a call with my old friend and classmate Carolina. We went to college together and she also has some industry experience. So when I started being really public about like the early stages of making More Wood Hollow, she reached out to me and we talked about our own projects and everything. And we like set up a time for us to call and just like, you know, talk shop, get the creative gears flowing. And I learned so much from her. I'm so grateful for any friends who like offer any sort of creative advice or help on anything. That was a very good talk. And of course I took so many notes. This isn't even all of them. I won't be able to show you the rest of them because they have spoilers on them. But yeah, that was a very productive call. I'm very grateful that Carolina called and offered her advice and wisdom to me. Back to silly art again. Okay, so these I drew around when Cookie Run had their like Wicked for Good update, which, sidebar, Wicked for Good came out on my birthday, so that was nice. I get Doomed Eerie for my birthday and it was great. I didn't see the movie yet though. So I still need to watch it. Don't spoil anything. But yeah, back to this. Cookie Run basically had an update where they were collaborating with Wicked and they did like a Cookie Run version of the first movie. Basically everything was the same, but everybody was a dessert. And it was a very cute run. I had fun playing it. But then I got to like a part where they were doing a For Good duet. And while the girls were singing, they showed like a montage of things that happened in the actual Cookie Run story. So things with the characters and the ancients and your own relationship with one specific cookie, Cream Ferret Cookie, who is basically your mom. And they were all emotional moments, and it was late at, I broke down crying. I actually teared up when I was watching it. It genuinely made me emotional. It wouldn't be the first time Cookie Run made me emotional, but yeah. Listen, I know it's a game about cookies, but it makes you feel things, all right? None of you get to judge me. But yeah, it made me want to do some like Wicked fan art. These designs here are mostly related to their cookie designs. This sketch of here of Elphaba is all right. It was mostly meant to be a scribble. It wasn't super serious, but I like how these ones turned out. So Elphaba Cookie is green because there's like green matcha in her dough. And then Glinda was like a cute little sugar cookie. And I thought their designs were so adorable. They were simple, but the cookified versions of them were very cute. And I decided to give them both elf ears because I simply could. It's not canon to their design, but I I thought it was a fun little thing. Ooh, this is a fun spread. Okay, so this is when I decided to upgrade Robin's skates for Christmas, basically. I figured that instead of roller skates, she could have roller blades, so she could like speed around a lot faster, be a little more bold and daring. She's on a roller derby team, so of course she'd need to keep her regular like four-wheeled traditional roller skates for that. But when she's not derbying, she's out and about, blading to her heart's content, going as fast as she wants. So I was doing a bunch of studies of like different roller blades, just trying to figure out how to draw them. And then I did some figure studies off Pinterest of other people wearing rollerblades. I decided to try something a little different this time around and kind of repeat what I tried with those Eldritch Horrors a little while back and go over it with highlighter before going over it again in pen to kind of shape everything up. I really like how these turned out. This isn't really a method that I use for drawing a lot, but I like how these look. It was definitely worth a try. And then these were some pose studies actually drawn with Robin this time. This isn't what her blades are going to look like. I'm still figuring out what I want her blades to look like, but I think blades really suit her. Whenever I think of Robin, I think of blades. And then I gave, sidebar, I gave the roller skates to Naomi, so Naomi uses roller skates. They all have some kind of vehicle that's not a car, like Carlos has a skateboard, the twins have bikes, Maya has a scooter, Naomi has skates, and now Robin has blades. And then I decided that these little bits of hair that stick out off the sides of her head are a result of helmet hair because she's always wearing her helmet because she's always skating. I thought that was a fun little character bit that kind of worked out, honestly. And then don't worry about these worms. These were drawn just because I got like some stickers from Art Fight, and this guy right here made me want to draw worms, so they're just like doodles. Well, this is a fun one. Okay, so I didn't feel like drawing very much on this page. I didn't draw at all. I just kind of scrapbooked the hell out of a bunch of things. So I used a bunch of like textured scrapbook paper, regular scrapbook paper, sticky notes, stickers, business cards, whatever I could find, and just kind of like place things down. It was a fun way to kind of like loosen up. And then on the next page is one of my favorite spreads in the entire sketchbook. I love how this turned out. You can still see me playing with some of the scrapbook paper along the sides, but because this was mostly just a scrapbook spread, I wasn't precious with it, so I didn't really care if anything bled. I really love how like saturated everything is. This is, like I said, this is definitely one of my favorite spreads in the whole sketchbook. I love how this turned out. And then we got some low effort stuff right here. So I was trying to draw like studies of cute food. I believe I found them on Pinterest because I need practice drawing like props and objects and things like that. But as you can probably tell, I wasn't really feeling it. So I just kind of scribbled with highlighter and then drew over them in pen and called it a day. And here we got some post studies of Barry B. Benson that I made for my scene for the Bee movie Repollinated. Keep an eye out for that scene, by the way. I'm almost done with it, like at the time I'm filming this. Here we got a more pastel looking scrapbook spread. Again, just playing with stickers and paper and whatever I could get my hands on, including a Pop-Tart box. I really like this little thing right here of Momonga with like My Melody and Kuromi and My Sweet Piano. That's her name right there. I put this in the center and I didn't glue them down so they could just like stick out if you wanted them to. You could just kind of play with them. Yeah, very cute spread. This is all right. It's not as effortful as others, but this was a fun way to fill it up a little bit. And we're finally at the end of the sketchbook. We're on the last couple of pages. So normally at the end of the year, I like to write goals or resolutions for things in my sketchbook of things I want to accomplish in the new year. We are now 5 months into 2026, so let's see what we got here. Start boarding the pilot episode for, it's not called Oakwood Hollow anymore, it's called Morewood Hollow. I started a couple of shots, but I haven't sat down and started boarding it just yet. But I'm very close to finishing up all the writing and stuff, so keep an eye out for that, I suppose. Finish backgrounds for Dover and Calypso. I probably won't finish the backgrounds anytime soon, but it's still a project that I want to make, and I want to draw at least a few things for that this year. Make a bunch of little Morewood Hollow animations. I'm in the process of doing that right now. I've been dealing with some burnout recently, and I'm kind of just getting back into a groove with it, so I have a couple animations in mind that I want to make. Get into making comics. Again, I'm doing this mostly to spark interest for Morewood Hollow. I want to make some comics relating to the story at some point to kind of like grab people's interest and get them curious about the show. Cook new recipes. This one I haven't really done yet as much as I wanted to. I'm more of a baker than a chef, so if any of you guys have good recipes, like let me know in the comments. Feel free to do that. Find work on another indie project, preferably with friends. I haven't found like, I guess traditional indie animation work like on a show or a short film or anything like that. But I have quite a few reanimated scenes that I'm hoping to make soon. And I've also been collaborating with and making friends with other artists, so that's been a lot of fun. Get verified on VGen. I really hope I can get verified on VGen. If any of you guys have anything in mind that you want drawn for you or you want a commission from me, I offer all my services on VGen, and if I get enough people commissioning me, I can get verified and I can offer more services. And I'm very hopeful that I'll be able to do that. So yeah, if you want anything drawn, just go to my VGen and hit me up, I guess. And then finally, stream, you coward. I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. I'm trying to build up like the courage to stream recently. It's mostly just a matter of getting over stage fright for me. But I'd love to stream at some point. I want to stream some of the process of like working on my illustrations or animations or some things like that I'm doing behind the scenes that I'm working on and my projects and things like that. And getting to talk to you guys sounds like a lot of fun. So that'll be hopefully something that I'll be brave enough to do this year. And then ending it with some figure drawing, some of which I'm gonna have to censor. Yay. All right, and that's my sketchbook. Yeah. I meant it when I say I really enjoy working in this sketchbook. This was a lot more experimental for me. I think the more I work in my sketchbooks, the more fun that I have, and I hope I can keep that going for as long as I can. So just a little heads up, my next sketchbook tour will probably take a while, hopefully not as long as this one took, but the reason I'm doing that is because I have 2 sketchbooks right now. Hold on, let me show you. All right, these are my 2 sketchbooks that I'm currently working on right now. This one is like specifically dedicated to Morewood Hollow and its pilot episode. There's lots and lots of concept art in this one, and there are like early drafts of the storyboard that I have. If you want to see some of these right here, little taste. And that's all you're gonna get. It is riddled with spoilers, so I probably won't be able to show it anytime soon. Maybe after the pilot like airs, that's when I'll tour it. And then this one here is a scribble book. I was kind of more or less planning on making a tour with this one when it was done, but I ended up, like I said at the beginning of the video, I kind of ended up going through some things, and I ended up venting those feelings about it in this sketchbook. There's a lot of vent art in this sketchbook right here, so I don't feel super comfortable like showing it off. Hopefully you guys understand, but I'm almost done with both of these. I'm a little more than halfway done with this one, and then I just have a few unused pages left in here, so I'll be able to start a new one pretty soon. So hopefully within the next few months, I'll be able to get back into a normal groove with my sketchbooks, like a normally sized sketchbook that's not really used for concept art. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. All right, I hope you're having a lovely day. Bye!